Right, it looks like I have my window there. It's time to start recording. I want to try to actually finish this other semifinal while it is still technically Monday, October 10th over here. It's 11:02 p.m. at the time that I've begun to record this. And so the second semifinal is between the Edmonton Oilers and New England Whalers. And New England, having finished ahead in the standings, they will have home ice for games 1 and 3, game 5 if necessary. This is a best of 5. And so I guess right now it's on the page with the logos. So if we head over here, I did this a little differently with the Winnipeg Quebec series, I think, for this one here. Let's see, I'm just going to update it in the spreadsheet for now, just very, very basic. So New England, Edmonton, game 1, Edmonton, New England with game 2, and then New England, Edmonton again with game 3, and then again 4 and 5 if necessary. Might as well get them out and ready. New England, that's right, we'll play Edmonton game 5, should they, because probably a faster way to do that. So, yeah, so this is, get the card shuffle, random number 77, but I think I'll override that. And actually, no, yeah, we'll let Don McLeod start for the Edmonton Oilers, and for the New England Whalers, it's going to be Al Smith. So Don McLeod against Al Smith. Though Dave Dryden is just coming off having won the award here, what I call the Johnny Bower Award for the best goaltender at season's end in a project. Really, in the case of the World Hockey Association in '78, it just means that he was the least worst goaltender as opposed to being the best one. So I don't think I shuffled because the ace came up right away. Sorry if I did, and I'm denying Edmonton a chance, but they're going to need a little more help than that in order to prevail in this series. So 2 more aces come up anyway, so what's shuffling? That is Gordie Howe. Gordie Howe automatically gets it through to Gordie Howe. Look at this Gordie Howe solo effort to start off this playoff for the New England Whalers there. It's Gordie Howe from Gordie Howe, and for the secondary helper there, the 9 of spades, it's going to be Jack Carlson getting involved in this goal as well. So it's 1-0 here for New England. Al Smith again getting the start for the Oilers. I can note that Don McLeod will get the start for this one. And go to it. And actually, in the meantime, I guess spoiler at this point. So game 5 there, Brodeur led in 8 goals. So it would have been 30, right? Winnipeg, I think, scored 30 in the series, none in the empty net. So I guess maybe in the tail end of game 5 there they might have, but goals against average not 30, it'd be 6 in 5 games in a losing effort, and a losing 2-3-0 record effort. And at the same time, let's see here, for the Jets' sake, Bromley as well. No, I think, did I start Daly in game 5? Again, it doesn't really matter anyway, but Daly would have surrendered, let's see here, 3 goals there, so 3 average for him. That should be 5.5 actually for Bromley after 4 games. So then a 3 for Quebec had 25, no, 23. What am I doing? Yeah, I messed this up somewhere. I screwed this up. I think for Bromley then it's 20 after 4 games. The goals against average of 5. I think I meant to change that back, and then 3. Okay, so tangent back to the game at hand here, where the New England Whalers are up 1-0, and away we go with it here up to the 5-minute mark, where it's going to be Gordie Howe again, Gordie Howe. But with the blackjack, that will not get by Edmonton's defense, though I won't injure anybody either. There is a wrinkle in the game where you can actually injure should the blackjack come up in the second or even the 4th card of a sequence. 9-3 means there's going to be no play on the ensuing play sequence. So to the 10-minute mark, Queen and 8. This is Edmonton's first. That's Paul Schmier. Schmier will get it to a team player. That team player we're going to go with, I think it's Randy Busniuk. And with the 5, he's unable to score as Busniuk from there. So 12.5 into the period, where Al Hamilton, the 10, that's going to be a clean feed through onto Gary McGregor, but McGregor with the 3 doesn't get a good shot off. So the 2 and the 8, Edmonton again, 3rd consecutive possession. We'll give this one to Brian Campbell. Brian Campbell here with the 7. That's good for an Edmonton team player. So Campbell on to 5. 5 is Al Hamilton with the 3. So Edmonton is missed there. It's still a 1-0 New England game. But the Oilers here, 4 possessions in a row. Juha Whiting this time to Gary McGregor. Again, McGregor with the queen. So we look Kings and Red Queens will solve Al Smith. This is a 1-1 game. I have to tone it down at this hour. But the first goal here scored by the Edmonton Oilers in the playoffs. Again, that's going to be Gary McGregor, and I believe the play started with, Juha Whiting. So McGregor from Whiting, and then the King of Diamonds. If they have that, they don't. So McGregor from Whiting before I forget here. McGregor is, he's down on the roster. and Whiting picking up the helper there. So a lot of 1-assist goals in the other series as well. That's 7 sequences of 8. So here's the final sequence of the period. Edmonton team player, they managed to play it through. That's Dave Semenko. Semenko gets it to Norm Ferguson, and all that he needs is a 5, and he gets it. Ferguson from Semenko, and the Queen of Hearts there is Jarry. Tristan Jarry. Did this guy even get a point in the regular season? Pierre Jarry, he had 1 assist. Jarry there, Norm Ferguson with the goal, and Semenko with the other helper. There we go. Okay. All right, let's. So that concludes period 1, and on to 2, where Edmonton's going to start off. They're going to be jokered out immediately, with the joker being the second card in the sequence. So it's going to be Gordie Howe again. Gordie Howe this time with the blackjack, though. That's unfortunate for him. So 5 minutes into period 2. On to minute 7.5 here, where we have a queen and a queen. So that's Paul Schmier getting by the Red Queens, the New England defense. Schmier feeds it on to Al Hamilton. The Blue Liners combine for a goal. Hamilton from Schmier, and Schmier again. So just Hamilton from Schmier straight up. And Schmier's first point here in the postseason. So we got a 3-1 hockey game now for Edmonton on the road, looking to get the upset in game 1 of the series. And they're making good with the time that they have here. That is Ron Chipperfield. Ron Chipperfield, he sets up Brett Callahan, 1-times it. And unfortunately, Callahan fans the 1-timer. Queen and 2, so that's not going to get anything done in the following sequence. But Edmonton, they have the lead, and they're keeping possession at least. So keeping possession will keep the lead for them. 5 here, 5 with Randy Rhoda, and 10. So Edmonton again, Randy Rhoda. It's been all Edmonton here in period 2. Gary McGregor needs an 8, though. So just 1 sequence left to go in the middle frame. And with the 8 and the 3, again, Edmonton, they're not doing anything with it, but what they are doing is keeping control and keeping the puck away from New England. So it's 3-1 Edmonton here after 2 in game 1. King, that's going to be Mark Howe. Mark Howe, that'll be a successful play to his dad, and Gordie Howe does score here. So it's Edmonton 3, Gordie Howe 2 at this point. Gordie Howe from Mark Howe, and Gordie Howe again, which can't happen. So Howe from his son, from one of his sons, not Marty Howe. Marty Howe is in the roster, but I click on a couple of things that I don't need to, and in the third period, it's now a 1-goal game again. 4-8, though, Edmonton. That's Dave Langevin. Langevin gets it. It's to Blair McDonald. Blair McDonald with the 5. He was slow to start scoring in the season. Maybe he'll pick it up in the playoffs. So McDonald there from Dave Langevin. And the secondary, which I didn't get, that is Queen of Clubs on the Edmonton Oilers. Pierre Guit, which is spelled quite on the card, but that's quite all right. Guit here getting the helper, and I already gave Langevin his, so 4. So just like that, Edmonton making it a 2-goal game again. And the Jack and the 9, that is Blair McDonald. Blair McDonald, but jokered out of it again in the sequence are the Oilers being on the road. 3 and 6, that's not going to get anything done. Norm Ferguson doesn't have the passing ability for that. 8, so again, Edmonton possession has really been the story of this game. Edmonton control time in New England's end. Now that I've said that, it's the Whalers with possession. 10 in the ace, that's looking pretty good. Rick Lee, he feeds it to Mike Antonovich. Antonovich with the goal. Antonovich from Rick Lee, and the 3 of spades is Gordie Roberts. Antonovich from Lee and Roberts. Antonovich with his first. Lee also with his first. And then Gordie Roberts as well with his first, Roberts who finished second in team scoring and won my Bobby Russo award. So 5 minutes to go here in the frame. 5 and an ace, so that's going to be setting up Mark Howe is George Lyle. Lyle to Mark Howe with the blackjack's not going to work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, and they needed that too, I think. We're looking at a 4-3 hockey game. That could have been the tying marker. One more chance now for New England, and the puck does go to New England. The Queens will penetrate the defense. So we have Larry Plow out there, extra guy, perhaps extra attacker. To the Queen, to the 7. Plow gets, solo effort for Plow. Red Jacks, Jack of Hearts. Oh my goodness, we're going to have sudden death. Larry Plow, I was about to say Larry Plow. I almost felt like modding that, but Plow gets it done here. This is the WHA in 1978. It's going to be Plow. Solo effort, almost end-to-end, but from Mark Howe. Mark Howe chipping in, contributing as well. Another assist for him and a goal there for Plow. Hopefully I'm saying his last name correctly. And we're going to go to sudden death because that was 4, 7, 8. 8 sequences in the period. Good thing about sudden death with the World Hockey Association is it really will end suddenly and abruptly. This is not going to last long. I'm going to say that with 100% confidence. It could be over as quickly as now. So the New England Whalers tie it. They're trying to steal the game here from Edmonton, tying it in the final play sequence in regulation. And this is Jim Mayer, that's right, Jim Mayer here. Jim Mayer with the 9, so successfully through to 10. Mayer to Mike Rogers, and Rogers with the 5. There you go. See, what did I say? Mike Rogers winning it here in overtime. So the Oilers were up 4-3 in the final play sequence of regulation. The New England Whalers managed to tie it, and here in overtime, stealing game 1. It's Mike Rogers from Jim Mayer, and the 6 of spades goes to Mike Antonovich. So Rogers from fellow Mike Antonovich, but with the primary assist there low down on the roster was Jim Mayer. And so 5-4 is your final score here in overtime. So 1 game, 5 goals against. He would have been in for all 5 of them too, and an 0-1-0 record there for Don McLeod. That'll be easier probably to keep track of if I do it from game to game. So goals against average there of only 4 for Al Smith. And so 1-0-0 here for, and yes, I didn't mention this in the other video. I may or may not end up uploading this one as well because I have to talk more quietly in it. But I slacked off for the final few games because goaltending stats, just 78 World Hockey Association, did not really matter as much. They're just embarrassing, ridiculous to look at. Anyway, so that's right, overtime. This game's done. And just in case I get tired and lose track, let's go because it isn't early here. So, whoops, did I meant, wait a minute, because New England, so already I caught a mistake that I made. That's right, it should be Edmonton and New England for games 1, 3, and 5. Whoops, why won't that let me do what I want to do? Edmonton and New England, so the first one there, I should probably move all of those down as well. That looks right. Move those down a little further, so... I'm not going to use Delphi to update this yet. So 4 here for New England, and we'll note that it was in overtime. And on to game 2, where the Whalers will take to the road in Edmonton. Again, this is best of 5, so I alternate home and away after every one of these games. And starting things off here for us in game 2, again, it's the Whalers. The Whalers with the 3 and the Jack. That will be boxed out by the Edmonton blue line. Up to 5 minutes now. Edmonton, their first possession, 3-9, is Norm Ferguson setting up an Edmonton team player. That Edmonton team player is Brian Campbell. And Campbell with the 10, that's going to be a goal. Campbell from Langevin, let's see. And the king of clubs, didn't we have this before? Dave Semenko. Semenko helping out here in the postseason. He had 1 goal and 6 assists during the regular season. He's got 2 now in the postseason. Campbell had the goal, and that play was started by Norm Ferguson, who picks up another point. So Edmonton strikes first here again in this game. Actually, New England struck first in the first game with Gordie Howe. And 4-2, the Oilers unable to follow up on that. Did I start the sequence with Edmonton? Yes, I did. Red 3. So yeah, I turned over 2 more cards there and completed the sequence. The 8, this is the New England Whalers again. 8-7, that's Mike Antonovich. Antonovich gets it to George Lyle. George Lyle, that's going to be a guarantee goal there for New England. So, and the 8 of diamonds, that's Dave Keon. So George Lyle from Dave Keon, and did I say Antonovich? Yes, I did. Lyle from Keon, or Lyle from Antonovich rather, and Keon if it matters. George Lyle here, first of the postseason from Antonovich, up to 3 points now, and Dave Keon with his first marker here in the playoffs. And it's the Oilers back the other way. So King 6, Queen. So King 6 is through. King is Al Hamilton. Queen is Ron Chipperfield. And Chipperfield, that's going to be a save by Al Smith. I'm going to just ride the starting goaltenders for this. Since Edmonton lost, I'm going to say we're going with Dave Dryden in this game. So a little after the fact decision made there. No harm, no foul. 5, Queen. So that will actually penetrate there. The New England Whalers, George Lyle. He sets up Gordie Howe. And Howe with his 3rd goal here of the postseason already. Howe from George Lyle. And the Queen of Spades is Marty Howe. So Marty Howe getting in the action. Had 1 assist all regular season. Has 1 already in the playoffs. Gordie Howe, as mentioned. And my goodness, my memory. Who got the damn play started? 5. That's right, George Lyle. Should have known. George Lyle, pretty prominent. So he's up to 2 points now. And that's 6 here. So 7 here in the first period. That's going to be a dead sequence. But the final one here of the opening frame, Jack and Joker, that's not going to work either. So it was 5-4 after game 1. New England now, they scored twice in that period. And the Edmonton Oilers scored once. It's 2-1 New England after 1. And the Whalers will start off period 2 here. Dave Keon. Keon will get it through to 8. 8 is Keon again, solo effort, but the blackjack, he doesn't manage to score. And so the ace and the 3, that's Gordie Howe. Gordie Howe, it's fed on to Al Hangsleben. Hangsleben with the queen, so we come back over to Dave Dryden. Kings, red queens, and jack of hearts. That's a bit odd, and what it means is that Dryden, number 28, has made a great save there. Now the 2 and the 5, that is Jack Carlson for New England. The ace means auto through. Jack Carlson feeds it to George Lyle, and George Lyle poised to have a big game here. George Lyle from Jack Carlson and Rick Lee. George Lyle, goal, second here from Jack Carlson, putting up another point, and Rick Lee as well. So, tie game, right? No, 3-1 New England. What am I saying? 3-1 New England, right? That's the first goal here, scored in the second period. And that is a killed sequence there for the Oilers, unable to get anything going with the second card in that play sequence in game terms. So to the 15-minute mark now we go already. It's been a relatively fast period where the Whalers, Rick Lee through to Larry Plow, who had the game-tying marker there that helped New England, that started off the steal, got the steal in motion for New England, but he's jokered out here. King and queen for Edmonton. Hamilton feeding it through to... maybe I should do it like this, more solitaire style. To, let me know. To Blair McDonald, and Blair McDonald with the 10, that's going to be an auto goal, and this is, yeah, I like that better. Why haven't I done that all along? And then, for reasons, Zook, we're in 2022, people don't give reasons for why they do things anymore. Anyway, that bit of cynicism aside, not the waxed political in this video, but, so it's going to be again, that was Hamilton through successfully to McDonald and a goal. And they don't have a King of Hearts, do they? No, they don't. So let's go Blair McDonald, now Hamilton. Before we forget, McDonald with his second. Hamilton has an assist to go with his goal, and we're gonna flip on here. 4-7. One more sequence left to go here in period 2. That's a team player. So 9. That is going to be, I'm going to say Greg Carroll for New England, and 6. That's going to be played through successfully to 3, and 3 is Marty Howe. Marty Howe got a goal to go with his assist. Marty Howe with the goal. And who did I say? Carroll. So Carroll gets his first point of the postseason. And knowing me, I didn't flip for the secondary diamond. That's going to be Mark Howe. So there you go, brothers Howe combining on that, helping out. And after 2 periods of play, again, I'm just remembering the base from the game prior. So New England has scored 4 goals in this game. And Edmonton now has only scored twice. Was that really an all New England period? Pretty much. Okay. 4-2 New England after 2. I guess it's 2-1 New England after 1. So 4-2 New England after 2. It just feels like Edmonton's doing better than they are. Team player here for the Oilers to kick off the third period. That's Dave Semenko. Watch Dave get the goal. No, Dave did not. So ace, though. Ace and 2. Chipperfield actually can't make a play with the 2 after an ace. So we get the blackjack here back the other way. That is Mike Rogers. Rogers similarly unsuccessful. That pass a little too hot and heavy for his line mate. And with the king, it's going to be Al Hamilton. Al Hamilton setting up Juha Whiting. He needed a 6. He didn't get it. So 6 and 8 here now for Edmonton. That's Whiting again. He's going to try again. This time he finds Paul Schmier. Schmier with the 4. That's not going to work. So 7.5 minutes to go here. Queen 5, all Edmonton, but they're not getting anything done with it. To an Edmonton team player again. Schmier gets it to Randy Rhoda. Randy Rhoda with the 5 where they need a 7. Some narrow misses here. And 7 and Jack. That's going to be canceled. So the final sequence here, Edmonton got to get something, try to get their dignity here. They're about to go down 2-0 in the series. So King and 7, that's Al Hamilton. Al Hamilton to the Joker, Bill Flett. And Cowboy finally on the board in this. Bill Flett from Al Hamilton. And Bill Flett again, so he can only get the goal. He can't get an assist with his own goal. It's Flett from Hamilton. Chipperfield without a point through 2 games. And Edmonton finishes off with 3 goals, and New England finishes off with 4 goals. So we get a 4-3 verdict here in Game 2, and the New England Whalers are up by 2. They're up 2-0 in the series. And on top of it, I guess they've managed to steal one on the road here against Edmonton. So 2-0 New England in this series. And let's have a quick check here. We are 19 minutes, just under 20 minutes in this video. That's what I would have guessed. And so for Game 3, let's see, executive decision on the goaltending. I don't know, maybe Edmonton goes back to McLeod. Maybe they alternate, and I think that New England keeps Smith. And no, Levasseur facing elimination. Levasseur, you'll rest Smith for the final. So Levasseur and Dave Dryden here get the, or McLeod and Levasseur actually will get the nod here. So 5 and Joker. 5 and, whoops, that's too zoomed in, so is that. 5 and Joker. So that's going to be New England starting things off well here in New England. 10 and 4, that is Mike Rogers very narrowly missing out on a goal. 6 and 6 here for the Oilers back the other way. That is Whiting narrowly missing out. So I'm just going to flip a couple of cards and kill that sequence. The Queen in the 8, however, this is Paul Schmier. Schmier, he gets it to 8, Juha Whiting. And Whiting with the red jack, we come over, we look, that's going to be a save for Levasseur up to the 10-minute mark here with the 10-5. That is Rick Lee, a successful feed for New England to 3-7. Marty Howe narrowly missing on getting his second goal here in the playoffs. 5 and 10 back the other way now. Randy Rhoda again. Rhoda this time, he tries Juha Whiting. They flip it in reverse, and Whiting needed a 6, but that was a 5. So to the 15-minute mark now. Joker and Queen this time for New England. Joker and Queen. And because we haven't had we have not... That's right, we have not had a goal yet in this game, okay? So Joker, I'm trying to go fast. Joker, that's my excuse. Joker and Queen, that's going to be Gordie. I'm going to say Mark Howe. They have the same ability. Mark Howe to 2 and 2, so Mark Howe to Jim Mayer. And Mayer with the 3 unsuccessful. 5 minutes to go here in the opening frame. 9 and 4, that's killed. And either side. And then the King, so that's going to be New England here with the final chance. King and Queen, which will work on Edmonton. Any color Queen will. So it is Mark Howe to Mike Antonovich, but the Jack, Jack of Hearts does in either one. So Mike Antonovich here from Mark Howe. Antonovich is second. Howe's 4th assist. And Howe had a lot of assists in the season replay as well. And then King of Clubs is nobody. So after one period of play here, New England just the lone goal here. It's 1-0. And so we'll shuffle a bunch here for the second, where we get a 7 of hearts, a 5 of hearts, a 7 and 5 doesn't work. So it's to Queen now, to Queen and to King. So Paul Schmier. Schmier has set up Brett Callahan. Callahan with a King. That's going to be a goal. Oilers on the board. Callahan from Paul Schmier and Blair McDonald. Callahan. First point of the playoffs, he said chances from Schmier and Blair McDonald up to 3 points now in the postseason. And 8 and Queen, so this is Edmonton again here. Callahan again. Callahan gets it to 5, Al Hamilton. And 10, just like that, Edmonton now I think they're up 2-1 in the game. Callahan from Hamilton, right? I should start doing this again. No. Callahan from... Hamilton from Callahan. That's what I meant. Hamilton from Callahan. And the 5 of clubs, we're going to say Zook. So Hamilton, second goal here. Callahan with his first assist. And Zook, I think that's his first point. It is. 7.5 minutes into period 2. And Gordie Howe, but he's blackjacked out of a play. So here to the 12.5 minute mark, the 4 and the 9, that's Jack Carlson. Carlson gets it through to Mike Rogers, and Rogers with the 3. I think he's had a few missed opportunities now. The ace and the jack doesn't get it done. I'm back to old habit, I guess, for how I flip these out. It's how I do it when I'm on my own here. So this is also going to be a failed sequence here. So the final one in the second period, team player 7. Let's go Greg Carroll again. And 3 for New England. That will actually work. They get through. Greg Carroll gets it to Larry Plow, who scores another kind of key, timely goal in this one. Larry Plow from Greg Carroll and Mike Rogers. Plow with his second from Carroll. Also with his second assist. And Mike Rogers up to 2 points now in the postseason, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 periods of play. The Whalers came into this one with 9 goals. So they had 2, they have 11. The Oilers came into this 7 goals, 2, they have 9. So this is 2-2 after 2 periods. And it is the Oilers starting things off for period 3, but that is a shank, a misplay. So King... for the Whalers here, King 3, Mark Howe. That'll be a successful feed. He's maneuvered it to George Lyle with the 6. So George Lyle scores. It's 3-2 New England with Edmonton facing elimination. George Lyle from Mark Howe and Rick Lee. George Lyle here with his 3rd. tied with Gordie Howe for the lead. Mark Howe with 5 assists now, leading the team in points, and Rick Lee. So 5 minutes into period 3, 1-0 New England, and they're just keeping the puck away now. Rogers threw successfully to Gordie Howe, and unfortunately that's going to put some distance in between them. I'm going to say Mark Howe with the helper there. Give him I'll say Gordie Roberts, try to get him going. Sometimes I do stuff like that. So Howe from Mike Rogers and Gordie Roberts. Howe with 4 goals. Roberts was a big part of the regular season attack for them. And Rogers there, I said as well, was factored in on that goal. That was me cracking my wrist. Anyway, I'm not sure if the mic would have caught that, but or picked that up. But 5 Queen here, so that is George Lyle, through to 8, through to Dave Keon. And no, Red Queen, so that's actually going to be a save for Don McLeod. Right, because New England right now, 13, and Edmonton, just so, this is 4-2, I guess, for New England at this point. So anyway, with the King, this is going to be Edmonton, though. King and ace, Al Hamilton. Hamilton finds Chipperfield. Chipperfield finally on the board in the postseason. Chipperfield from Al Hamilton and Bill Flett. All hope is not lost. Chipperfield again from Al Hamilton and Bill Flett. And 7.5 minutes to go here. And it's an Oilers possession, but they're blackjacked away from it. So 5 to go here now. Ace, that's Edmonton again, though. Ace and 10, Chipperfield automatically through. 2 team players, 7. We're going to go Brian Campbell, who scored a big goal in the other game. And hold on now. 2 and 7. And so King, that's not a goal, but King will play it through to another team player. Is it Campbell again? No, it's going to be Langevin this time. Langevin with the goal. Langevin launches it and he gets a goal. Langevin. Have I done something? I've got this weird feeling I've done something wrong here. 10. Oh, no. Ace 10. See, this is why I should do it this way. Ace 10. Okay, hold on. Ace 10 to 7. King. That is Campbell scoring from Chipperfield. That makes this the secondary helper. So Campbell, another goal for the defenseman from, let's see here, from Chipperfield with another point. And not Langevin this time, I don't think. 2 of clubs. Blair McDonald. Almost screwed this up. Okay, and so then we've got a 10 and we've got a King. The 2. And then, because I remember I said Langevin this time. So no, 2 and 10. So this is basically the next play is going to be 2 and 10. And I think I hope the 4 was the last card that I flipped. If not, whatever, it's an honest mistake. Trying to play several games here at once. Not doing anything intentionally untoward. But 2 and 10, that is, that's Langevin. King, successful play. To 4, Gary McGregor. McGregor with a 6, but he needs an 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So Edmonton with 4 goals here. New England with 4 goals here. We got sudden death. Oh, and I didn't mean to add a deck. Whoops. So I'm just going to shuffle this a bunch. You could play it with multiple decks, but I don't. And, okay, let's try to quickly flip through this. This could be it, though, for the Oilers as soon as now. But the 6 and the Jack, so jacked out of it, are the Whalers. The next sequence, it's the Whalers again, though. 10 and Jack, but again, that's not going to penetrate the Oilers' defense. So safety first here with Edmonton. Where the Oilers now 4, Dave Langevin, but Langevin with another 4. That is not going to successfully maneuver to anywhere. Brett Callahan, on the other hand, he has no luck either. Does Callahan there. So 10 minutes into the overtime period. New England again, and it's Kings and any Queen. So this is John McKenzie. This could be the series right here. McKenzie through to Marty Howe. And Marty Howe. Marty Howe eliminates the Edmonton Oilers. Marty Howe from John McKenzie. And Is it Tim Shee? Yeah, Tim Shee with his first point here. So Marty frickin' Howe in overtime. Wow. From John McKenzie, who surprisingly didn't have a point up till this point. So Pye with his first point. And I did lose track of that. I think I gave Levasseur the start in the second game, and it was 4-3 New England. So Levasseur will finish here with that's right. No, Levasseur 4. That's right, Al Smith in the second game. So goals against average of 4. Al Smith played in 2 games, surrendered 3 in the other one. So goals against average 3.5. Basically, I know he might have left the net for little incidentals, but this is just rough. It's a simple replay, so it's just simple, simple game, and simple means nothing bad, so just try to keep it simple. Dryden did start in the second game where it was a 4-3 loss, so his goals against average 4, and that is the Edmonton Oilers. That is their season, 5-4 in overtime. I mean, you can look here. New England had 9 goals through 2 games. Edmonton had 7 goals through 2 games. Edmonton finishes with 11. So, I mean, the series itself, it's a sweep that's closer than it actually will appear. The fact that that New England rather did it in 3 and eliminated Edmonton in 3, but of course, 2 of the 3 games went to extra ice innings. So. Don McLeod and surrendered 4, so he'd be up to 9, and then 4.5 goals against average, but gets the no. That's right. I'm thinking Don McLeod's playing for New England here, so at least he's consistent, right? 5-4 in overtime. There were 2 5-4 in overtime scores, right? So Don McLeod. His goals against average stays 5, and he's lost 2 of 3 games. Edmonton fans might lament that Dryden didn't get the start there in that third game, but again, that Edmonton, that game with, I don't know, it was close. I don't know what you do. Anyway, they actually have the same ability on the card. You can't see it, but they're both kings, red queens, and jack of hearts. So essentially the same netminder. And yeah, there you have it for that. So the final, much like in real life, spoiler, it's going to be the 77-78 Winnipeg Jets up against the New England Whalers. Winnipeg had a much harder time getting to the big show, having to play Quebec. Quebec extended them the full length of the series just about, but it was Winnipeg prevailing there. Actually, it was kind of a blowout in the 5th and final game of the best of 5. And the New England Whalers, again, the games themselves were pretty tight. You had 2 overtimes and a 1-goal game, but in the end, I guess they make it look kind of easy. And so I'm going to stop the video there now, just under 33 minutes. And all that I have to do now to complete this project, really, other than some stats updates and things like that, would be the final. So if I end up uploading this anytime, any consideration you give to this is greatly appreciated. And never expected, but greatly appreciated. And bye for now.